Aloha friends, welcome to Positano. We are at the El San Pietro, which
Yes.
is a beautiful hotel just
Gorgeous.
outside of Positano. It kind of overlooks Positano and it's amazing. I was kind of disappointed that we couldn't walk around the town all the time, but no, you want to hang out at the hotel because it's amazing. But welcome, my name's Maria. This is Craig Emmerich. I'm a nutritionist who specializes in the keto carnivore diet, and we have been helping people for the last 20 years transform their lives. Our testimonies are awesome. Check it out. Getting off medication, all of that. Also reversing insulin resistance, which we kind of want to talk about today because I've been seeing a couple different podcasts, keto carnivore podcasts, interviewing a weight loss doctor who specializes in liposuction and different things like that. And what I don't like that they're not addressing is how if you do liposuction, it's going to make you more insulin resistant.
More likely to become insulin resistant. The most important factor here that you need to consider is something called the personal fat threshold. We have I'll put a link up here to a video where we talk all about that, but I'll review it quickly here, then we'll discuss what liposuction does with respect to it. Basically, you have a personal fat threshold where everybody after they're a toddler doesn't make new fat cells. Almost everyone. They have a certain number they make when they're young, and then you just fill them up or shrink them. Or empty them. And when you get to the point where most of your fat cells are stuffed and inflamed, that's when you're insulin resistant. The fat cell becomes insulin resistant and your triglycerides go up. That's metabolic syndrome and insulin resistance.
So if you don't make a lot of fat cells, you can be thin and a type 2 diabetic, which I've dealt with many, many times. One of my favorite clients, I remember her because she was very sweet, named Jennifer. She was 105 pounds and a type 2 diabetic. But that's not it. She was so metabolically damaged, she was having strokes, and she was only in her 30s, and that's why she wanted to change things. And what she said to me is, Maria, I wish I would gain weight when I cheated, because I don't. People look at me and think I'm super healthy, but I'm dying.
But she has so few fat cells, they're all stuffed and inflamed quickly without putting on a lot of physical weight.
This has also caused the Asian paradox. Everyone's like, why can the Asians eat all this, rice and this and that and be thin? Well, they don't have a lot of fat cells.
And they are becoming one of the leaders in the world of diabetes now.
Type 2.
And so back to the situation. So that's the situation when it comes to your fat cells, okay? Most of us don't make new ones when we get older. We fill them up or we empty them. And here's the key point about this when it comes to liposuction. If you want to take the easy way out and just have the fat sucked out, you're sucking out those fat cells. And so now you have less fat cells. You have lowered your personal fat threshold to where now, if you keep eating the way you were, you'll stuff those fat cells quicker and become insulin resistant quicker. You're actually accelerating the process or enabling your body to become insulin resistant quicker. And that's not what anybody wants.
No, we actually had someone come see us last year in person. She demanded it, which was so fine. But she was on metformin. I don't know if she was on insulin yet, but she had type 2 diabetes, and she was having a hard time losing weight. She's like, I'm just gonna get liposuction. And we're like, well, that's gonna make your situation worse.
Yeah, she was already insulin resistant, so that's just gonna make it, because she wasn't changing her diet. Suck out some of the fat cells, now you've got less fat cells to fill up, and you're gonna be more insulin resistant because of it, if you keep your diet the same.
What you can do instead of getting liposuction is we highly suggest doing a protein sparing modified fast approach, which is where you do the ketogenic diet, and then on 2 to 3 days a week, probably 3 in your case, you would want to do a protein sparing modified fast. What is that? We have many, many videos about that. Check it out.
I'll put some links.
Yeah, very helpful.
But what's important about that is, in that case, or even just keto weight loss or carnivore weight loss macros, what you're going to do is you're going to maintain the muscle, which
is important, or gain
it gives you some place for glucose to be stored. So it helps clear glucose out of the blood. It keeps your blood glucose levels lower. and then it'll also shrink your fat cells. So it'll empty some of the fat out of the fat cells. As that happens, you're going to have a fat cell now that is more happy. It's not stuffed and inflamed. It's happy. If you need to take on some fat, it can take it on, or if you're not 100%, you have a slip up or something, you're going to be able to allow that and get back to where you were without going insulin resistant, without causing all these metabolic issues in the body.
Yeah.
So it's really important to have fat cells, but just not stuffed fat cells.
Right. And the really damaging fat cells are deep in, the organs that you can't really remove with liposuction. It's usually that, top layer of fat.
And if you remove the top layer of fat, it's going to start getting stored around the organs because it's got to put it somewhere.
It's got to go somewhere, yeah, especially if you don't change the way you're eating. There's a few different other new ways to reduce fat cells, like I heard it's called Kybella. That's not actually removing all the fat cells, it's just shrinking them. So maybe something like that is a better thing to look at. But I just wish that this was something that was addressed on those podcasts because, it's important.
Yeah, without that concept of the personal fat threshold, you don't understand the damage you're potentially doing. You're just seeing the aesthetic part, which is, I now have lost the fat, I now look thinner. But you've metabolically made your body in a worse situation.
But if you have changed your life and reversed insulin resistance or type 2 diabetes, I'd love for some comments below, because you know what those comments do? They inspire other people to change their life. So how did you reverse it? How long did it take maybe? How you feel?
And make sure to subscribe so that you see these videos in the future.
And share this video with your friends so you can show them, hey, change your way you eat delicious food. We're in Italy and we do not stray whatsoever. So you can do it, and we hope that you guys have a fantastic day. If you want to change your life like I've changed mine with food, I would be honored to help you. Many of you don't know that I was twice my size. I had acid reflux. I had PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome. I had depression. I had IBS, which is irritable bowel syndrome. And food changed my life. And not only did that happen, I get to eat good food, right? Good food. So if you want to eat good food, I have perfected meal plans made by me and personal help with supplements or modifications. If you have Hashimoto's, if you have Graves', if you have IBS, if you have PCOS, contact me. I would be honored to help you. You can go to keto-adapted.com and find a lot of different options there for personalized help, or message me by commenting below on this YouTube video, or you can check me out at mariamindbodyhealth.com. Mahalo.